Welcome to our channel edusectonline. In this video, we are going to study about how to balance a chemical equation. Let's move to the video. First, I will give you a brief introduction about what's a chemical equation. A chemical equation is a symbolic representation of a chemical reaction. Chemical reaction means when one or more substances reacting each other to form a new product is called as a chemical reaction. So this chemical reaction can be represented in the form of chemical equation. In the chemical equation, the symbols and formula of the reactants and products are used. And the change of reactants to products is shown through an arrow placed between them, and its direction indicates the direction of the chemical reaction, that is reactant to products. On LHS of the arrow, that means left hand side of the arrow, reactants are written with a plus sign in between. If there are more than two reactants, it can be separated with a plus sign. Similarly, on right hand side of the arrow, the products are written with a plus sign in between. And the chemical reaction also involves some symbols mentioning the physical state of both reactants and products like solid, liquid, gas or aqueous. When magnesium reacts with oxygen, it forms magnesium oxide. This chemical reaction can be represented like this, that is in the form of a chemical equation. Here the formula of each substance is used like Mg, O2 and MgO. And the physical state is also represented in the bracket like solid, gas, and again the MgO is a solid. And the direction of reactant to product is represented by the arrow. So this is a complete chemical equation. That is, the left hand side of the arrow represents the reactant and the right hand side of the arrow represents the products. Next, our main topic, balancing of a chemical equation. What is the need of balancing a chemical equation? The balancing of chemical equation is based on the law of conservation of mass, which states that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed during a chemical reaction. According to this law of conservation of mass, the total mass of the elements present in the product of a chemical reaction has to be equal to the total mass of the elements present in the reactant. That means the total number of atoms remains same before and after the chemical reaction. It means that the total number of atoms on both the reactant side and product side must be equal. For example is Fe, that is iron, reacts with H2O water forming Fe3O4 and hydrogen gas. Here we have to check whether the number of atoms on both sides is equal or not to know whether this equation is balanced or not. For that we have to count the number of atoms on both sides. I drawn three columns here: element, number of atoms in the reactants and number of atoms in the product. Our elements here in this equation are Fe, iron, then hydrogen H and oxygen O. I have written here Fe, H and O. And let's count number of atoms on both sides. In reactant side, the Fe is 1, hydrogen it is 2 and oxygen it is again 1. I have written here 1, 2 and 1 for the respective element. And here in the product side, Fe it is 3 and oxygen it is 4 and hydrogen it is 2. I have written here 3, 2 and 4 for the respective elements. Now check whether this number of atoms on both sides is equal or not. For iron, it's not equal, 1 and 3. Hydrogen, it's okay, 2 and 2. Now it's okay. And oxygen, it is 1 and 4. Again, it's not equal. That means this equation is not balanced. We have to balance it now. For that, we have to write each formula in different columns for the easy purpose. That means Fe, H2O, Fe3O4 and H2 in separate column. Next, we have to consider the element which is having the highest number of atoms. So that particular element we have to balance first. So here the most number of atom is for oxygen, that is 4. So we have to consider oxygen element first. Here in the product side, the oxygen is 4, but in the reactant side, it is only 1. So to make it balanced, we have to add a 4 here in front of this H2O. So here in the reactant side, the O becomes 4 and here the product side O is 4. That means now the oxygen is okay, like this. Fe plus 4H2 gives Fe3O4 and H2. But check, here the hydrogen is now, it is 8, 4 into 2, 8. But here the hydrogen is only 2. So we have to make here hydrogen equal. For that, in front of this H2, we have to put a 4. We have put a 4. So it will be 4 into 2, 8 atoms here. So now equation becomes Fe plus 4H2 forming Fe3O4 plus 4H2. Now check hydrogen, it is 8. Here also it is 8. Oxygen, it is 4 here. And here also it is 4. So for hydrogen and oxygen it is okay now. But here Fe it is 3. But here it is only 1. So we have to add a 3 here to make it balanced. Now here Fe is 3 and here Fe is 3. That means now the equation is okay. Like this, 3Fe plus 4H2O gives Fe3O4 and 4H2. Now check whether this equation is balanced now. For Fe, H and O. For reactant, Fe is 3, hydrogen it is 8 and oxygen it is 4. And for the product side, here Fe is 3, oxygen is 4, hydrogen it is 8. Check now this is equal on both sides in the reactant and the product. That means now our equation is balanced. So we can write our equation as like this. But a complete balanced chemical equation should represent the physical state of each substance. That means our equation should be like this. 3FeS, which represents the physical state of the cyan, plus 4H2 gas forming Fe3O4 solid plus 4H2 gas. Here H2O, it is gas because it was in the form of steam. This is our balanced chemical equation. I hope you're clear with this. So while you're balancing a chemical equation, you should have to count the number of atoms on both sides of the chemical reaction. Then you have to balance each element like I have shown now, right? Each element one by one. I hope you clear the balancing of equation. If you need a full video for this respective chapter, you can go to our channel. We have already uploaded the full chapter detailed class on chemical reactions and equations. If you like this video, do share this with your friends. Please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you.